Nobody really knows how AI is supposed to fit into the workplace yet. That's the part we don't talk about enough. We're acting like there's some master plan being rolled out behind the scenes. Like companies spent years carefully studying this technology, figured out exactly which jobs it should handle, trained everybody properly, and then introduced it in a controlled way. That's not what's happening. We're experimenting right now with real companies, real jobs, and real people's livelihoods. One company tells employees to use AI for everything. Another company is terrified they'll accidentally put confidential information into it. One manager thinks AI is going to transform the business. Another barely understands what it does. Meanwhile, employees are sitting at their desks trying to figure out what the new rules are. Should I use AI? Am I allowed to use it? If AI does half my work, should I tell anybody? And here's the really uncomfortable question. If I show my boss how much of my job AI can do, am I demonstrating that I'm more productive or demonstrating that they don't need me? That's a strange position to put workers in. Because companies obviously want the benefits. They want faster reports, faster emails, faster research, faster customer service, faster everything. But we are discovering that faster doesn't automatically mean better. AI can produce something that looks incredibly polished while still being wrong. And that's dangerous in a workplace because polished mistakes are sometimes harder to notice than obvious mistakes. A human employee might look at something and think, that sounds professional. Send it. Nobody checks it. Nobody questions it. Then somebody discovers the information wasn't accurate. Now everyone starts looking around the room. Whose mistake was it? The employee who used the AI? The company that encouraged employees to use it? The software? The manager who didn't check it? We don't really have established workplace instincts for this yet. That's why I call it an experiment. We are developing the rules while we are already using the technology. And something else is happening. Workers are starting to figure out AI on their own. Some employees might quietly automate parts of their jobs without telling anybody. Think about it. If something normally takes you 3 hours and you discover a way to do it in 30 minutes, what are you supposed to do with the extra time? Tell your boss? Because we all know what might happen next. That's fantastic. Here's more work. So there's this bizarre incentive to become more productive without letting anyone know exactly how productive you've become. That could create an entire underground economy of workplace automation. People sitting in offices looking incredibly busy while AI is quietly doing half the repetitive work. And honestly, that's kind of funny. For decades, companies have looked for technology that would make workers more productive. Now, workers finally have incredibly powerful productivity technology, and some of them might realize the smartest thing they can do is keep quiet about it. But eventually, companies figure it out. And then comes the next phase. Expectations increase. If an employee can create 5 reports instead of 2, 5 reports eventually becomes normal. The technology doesn't reduce the workload. It resets the baseline. That's what worries me more than the dramatic idea that AI suddenly replaces everybody. The workplace could simply become faster and more demanding. More output, more messages, more content, more analysis, more everything. And we are still the same human beings trying to keep up with it. Maybe we'll eventually figure out a healthy balance. Maybe AI really will eliminate boring work and give people more time to think, create, and solve meaningful problems. I'd like to believe that. But right now, we're nowhere near the finished version of this. We're watching companies experiment with one of the biggest changes to work since the internet. And the strangest part is that nobody volunteered to participate in the experiment. We just showed up for work one morning and discovered we were already in it.